Welcome all. Happy New Year, the last NFL slate of 2023. And of course, it's a good one to end it. It was very undersized by Draftkings as well because they assumed that people would go out and celebrate New Year's Eve instead of entering Showdown contests. So the Showdown contest, a lot of them have already filled early. But luckily, we are here on a Sunday night, the New Year's Eve night, and I'm joined by two of my favorites. We got Kurt, we got Glock. We have a good time ahead of us here. Glock, how are you doing, man?
Doing good. Yeah, I was curious about the viewership on this show. So if you're watching, shout out to you. I can consider you a sicko. But yeah, I mean, you got to enter your Showdown lineups and then you go out and then you get the pregame started for the new year. So yeah, looking forward to breaking this one down with you guys. And yeah, it's been a fun day so far. Cash the main slate, so can't complain about that. Looking to cash some more on Showdown.
I mean, how can you pregame without the NFL game going on in the background, having some skin in the game? You know what I'm saying, right, Kurt? Are you going out for this New Year's Eve here after the show?
No, I gotta kind of get up early tomorrow with those bowls starting at 12, and I gotta get some stuff done around the house. So I gotta probably be up at 5 to work out.
You already sound tired, bro.
Guy, bro, he's got to get up.
No, I'm just so pissed at NFL, dog. I feel like I feel like I nailed it today, and I literally won like $3 or some bullshit. It's so hard, dude. So hard.
It's
a good day though. It was a good day of games. We get to see a new quarterback tonight, so that's always fun. BYU legend Jaron Hall didn't look too bad in some of the spots in the preseason, but you never know. We never know. And the next Brock Purdy's out there just hanging around without the system.
So do you guys have New Year's resolutions? Because I have one, and mine is to replicate Kurt's sleeping schedule. And I'm already going to fail it. I already know. I think I'm going to fail it day one. Waking up at 5
no
a.m.
chance.
What's the first thing that you do? And when you wake up, so I got to spend a couple days in the Kurt household, and he wakes up early. He goes to the gym for 2 hours. Then he invites me to the gym, and he literally says, "Don't come to the gym too early," because like you'll be bored the whole time. He's acting like I wouldn't work out with him. Works out for 2 hours. Then plays basketball for an hour. I mean, this guy is just a fitness monster. So I want to hear your New Year's resolution, Kurt.
Dad of the year. Duh. I got to be Glock. It's a 1v1.
All right.
I'm coming at you, and I'm coming at you with with the namesake with Luca. Like, I'm just going to own you.
Are you seriously naming him Luca? Like, I thought that was a joke.
Now we switched it. It's going to be Killian Luca. Now it's Luca Killian. So, Mbappe. Yeah,
that's Mr. pretty. It's props to you, Kurt. Yeah, I mean, he's already destined for greatness with that first name.
Has to be.
Yeah,
has to be.
Obviously, you did it after, not because he joined the Mavs, because he's a Real Madrid EuroLeague legend. Luka Doncic is.
Yes,
Glock, what is your New Year's resolution?
Man, I haven't really thought about it. Probably I need to get on a better schedule, but it's hard with the kid. Obviously, if we're just being kind of serious, just be a good dad and get on a better schedule. Try to hammer this schedule in so it's just not so inconsistent. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully the NBA stays with the short slates and doesn't put the late games back, and I'm sure that your schedule will be a lot better if that's the case. We have a whole bunch of stuff to get into. We got a great game, like you mentioned earlier, Kurt. The Minnesota Vikings are not starting Nick Mullins. They're starting Jaron Hall, and if you have looked at the pricing on the slate, one thing you'll notice is that Jaron Hall is particularly cheap on DraftKings. He is only $8,400. To put that in perspective, they priced Nick Mullins, I think, at like $10,400. So you're getting a huge discount on Jaron Hall. Jordan Love is pretty expensive at $11K, but these are two great quarterbacks here. Glock, I'll kick it to you first, man. What are you doing with both quarterbacks tonight? And I got to mention, both captain eligible, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think there's going to be points to be had in this one. I'll be completely honest. I'm trying to see, Kurtz and maybe you, if you have a take on Jaron Hall. I honestly didn't watch much of him in college, but just looking around the industry, it seems like projections like him. I mean, I even see some sites have him projected higher than Jordan Love, which is super surprising to me. So trying to determine that is going to be key, because obviously if you project him higher than Jordan Love, the salary is just going to jam him in at the captain spot just because of the relief he gets you. And I like it. So, I mean, if Kurt could kind of show me onto this guy, I don't mind him in the captain spot for sure. Obviously don't mind Jordan Love either. So I like them both. Going to have exposure to both in captain and util as of now. But if Kurt kind of gives me some red flags, then maybe I might back off my stance. But I like them both for sure, just because I think points will be had in this game. So yeah, I'll have exposure to both, especially more Jaren Hall, just because of the captain, just because of the salary that he's at and what he kind of does for your build if you put him at captain.
Yeah, it opens up a lot of doors. And Kurt, if you haven't looked already, what would you guess that Jaren Hall's rushing prop is at on the DraftKings Sportsbook?
19.5.
19.5. You're low. You're 7 too low. Jaren Hall's rushing prop is 26.5. And that is a big reason why his projection might feel a little inflated because he is a dynamic runner. And you know a little bit about him, Kurt. Tell me a little bit about the BYU legend, Jaren Hall.
From my experience playing those late college showdowns, very streaky. Like, I think he kind of does better in the easier matchups in college. Oh my God. Hold on one second. Okay.
You can bet that Jaren Hall 13.5 on Fanduel. That's my first reaction when I saw this comment. If it's 13.5 on Fanduel, I'm spending.
Wow. Yeah, I like that. Like he said, he can run a little bit. He's not like Michael Vick out here, but can run a little bit. I think he will use his wheels here. The thing I like about him is it's the kind of the perfect, if you're going to throw him out there, it's the perfect spot to do it in. It's at home. It's versus secondary that, holy moly, this secondary has been, don't have the stats in front of me, but I would go out on a limb and say they're top 5 worst in the past 3 weeks, maybe top 3. They've been very bad. So if you're going to throw him out there, nut spot. And also, unlike some of the other guys, he actually gets Justin Jefferson in his first start. So add those 3 components in, add in the rushing ability for 4, and then 5, add in the fact that he has Justin Jefferson. There's a dryer going off. It's annoying the shit out of me. But yeah, I think the price too is just, it's really tempting. So I'm going to ride it and just hopefully we see someone just be able to get the ball to Justin Jefferson. That's all we're really asking at that price. Just get the ball to JJ.
Yeah, that's all we're asking for here. I mean, Jaren Hall, if you have Saberson too and anything like that, one thing you can do is itemize how the statistics go when they do these sims. And Jaren Hall's rushing prop, 26.5 or whatever, seems right. And that's what SaberSim also has his projected rushing stat at, is 26.06. So it's a very good, rushing upside, but you also have the weapons too. No TJ Hawkinson. That is one concern for the Vikings offense, but with Justin Jefferson there, you also got good weapons with Jordan Addison, KJ Osborne even in the mix. It's nice. And don't forget, with the end of the season New Year, we also have the last show of the year with Big T himself. So there he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Let's give him a on fire.
He's on fire.
There we go. He deserved that one. Big T, how are you doing today, man?
Good. I had to finish the year out with the last show with you guys. I can't miss out. I was gonna sit out. I was building my teams. I'm like, why am I not hopping on with the boys? I got to finish the year out with the boys. Man, it's been an interesting year for Rob here. I got to finish it out with my boys.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're able to kind of join the troops here on New Year's Eve. It's good to see. I know some people wouldn't, but it's a good thing to have you here, Big T. What are you doing with the quarterbacks, by the way? Are you jamming any in the captain? Because you're not against quarterback captains, but both these guys very good in the captain slot tonight, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still working on my numbers, so I don't know what I'm going to get, but I'm okay with either one. I probably won't have as much Jordan Love just because of the price. I mean, he's 11 and what's Hall, 84? I mean, he's $3K cheaper than Love. We've kind of said it forever on these. When you get these quarterbacks that are that cheap, I mean, you have to consider them in the captain. Even if you're not a usual person that likes them in the captain, if they're 8,400, you have to consider them. You just have to. I don't care who you are. And he runs on top of it. So, I mean, I think you're doing it wrong if you don't consider him in the captain.
Absolutely. And we are even more lucky, too. I can't believe how lucky we are on a show like this. The man, the myth, the legend. East Coast.
I had to come on, too, before you bring in the next special guest. You guys were acting like no one was going to watch. People love these shows. People love looking at Kurt giving out touchdown bets. They love Glock. Like, what do you mean people aren't going to watch?
That's true. It's true.
600, 700, 800 people by the end of this show.
6, 7. Okay, I'll take the under on 700. You want to give me that? I'll take the under for sure. And viewership's definitely going to go up though because we get man going.
Oh my God! Look at the headset.
Yeah, I got the headset. I got the headset. I figured Big T loves the headset. He said it's crisp and clear, so I kept it on. But Rubio, I just heard you literally say, you were like, yeah, you said something about like not everyone would hop on and close the show, and I was like, I can't let Rubio somehow be subtweeting me. I don't know who he's subtweeting, but he can't subtweet me on this one. So I'm hopping on So I'm not part of that subtweet I heard. You were calling someone out, but
Was
you're
it
not calling me out.
Mangone, Rubio? Was it him or was it someone else?
I'll say this, I told Mangone to hop in the underdog streets the day I won 8K just on Friday or something like that. I told Mangone, hey, I'm MMEing underdog. Like, this is the shit. Ended up calling my shot, and Mangone didn't enter. I'll just leave it at that.
You told me on the day I was traveling or the day, but not when you're traveling. I said I'd
Winners
start on
don't
Monday.
travel. All right, let's go ahead and get into the running back position here. So an interesting running back position because Ty Chandler is the lead back, but they barely ran it last time out there against who was it? It was against Detroit. They threw the ball a ton in the second half. It led to only 7 attempts for Ty Chandler. We had Alexander Madison only get 2 attempts. You look in the Green Bay side of things, you got Aaron Jones get 52% of the snaps last week. He is definitely the lead ball carrier there. If I'm not mistaken, was A.J. Dillon banged up at all? Because he only got 18% of the snaps last week to Patrick Taylor's 30. Kurt, would you know more on that?
Say it one more time.
The snap count in Green Bay is one of the running
He's
backs.
been dealing with something. I think they both are.
No, so I think Jones is almost back to full go. I think it's going to be his backfield tonight. I mean, I think we'll see him being spelled, but I think he's finally fully healthy coming down the stretch. Oh yeah, AJ Dillon's he's not even playing tonight, is he? He's been out for 2 weeks.
He's playing.
He's playing, but he's banged up.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. They've been really that whole room has been depleted. Even the third and fourth string's been hurt. But I think it's really Jones' show. You can't really run like power and stuff versus this team, so it's got to be kind of creative ways, and it certainly isn't Dillon's running style. So I wouldn't mess with it, to be honest. Besides Aaron Jones.
Yeah, makes sense. What about the Vikings side then?
I think they're going to try to give. I mean, I think they're going to be the young guys tonight. I think they're going to give as much to Ty Chandler and Jaren Hall and kind of see how it plays out. Chandler definitely deserves it. We saw it last week, except they kind of got away from the run. I think we see them give Chandler 15 to 20 touches here. Madison maybe just spells him. But, yeah, I'm just going borderline bell cow for Jones and Chandler tonight.
I like it. I like it. Glock, what are you doing with these running backs tonight for both sides?
Yeah, I mean, if you know my style, I can't play everyone. So I think one fade that I'm going to make here is probably Aaron Jones. I understand he might take the backfield soon. But almost at 10K price tag, I just can't get to him in my first, at least 10 lineups. I like Patrick Taylor, AJ at that tag 1.2K. AJ Dillon, we're still trying to see a split backfield, right? Last week you mentioned it, Aaron Jones 52% of the snaps, Patrick Taylor 30%, and then AJ Dillon 18%. I mean, I could see Aaron Jones tick up a little bit more, maybe towards the 60-65%, and then who knows with the rest, right? If AJ Dillon's still banged up, then Patrick Taylor becomes a pretty strong value play, in my opinion, on this slate. So I like Patrick Taylor the most, honestly, from the Green Bay side. And then, yeah, like Kurt said, on the Minnesota side, you have to like Ty Chandler. I mean, you just compare the RB1 price tags on each side. Ty Chandler is just so much cheaper, and he's not going to split the backfield work as much, if any. So I like Ty Chandler from Minnesota, and then Patrick Taylor, I'll have some just due to the value and, with uncertainty from A.J. Dillon.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense there. It does make pricing a little bit more difficult when you factor in that Aaron Jones is 9,800. That is a very tight squeeze there. But Mangone, I want you to tell me a little bit about the quarterbacks because you're a Green Bay Packer fan. And one thing that you told me last night, you were like, Jordan Love kills the blitz, and that's all the Vikings do is blitz. You kind of gave me that, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to take Mangone's advice here, and I'm going to try and jam in as many double quarterback builds. What that does, though, kind of leaves Aaron Jones a little bit out of the equation for me. But what about you?
Yeah, it'll squeeze him, and it squeezes Jaden Reed a little bit, where it wants you to go some of those cheaper receivers even more. But I'm playing Jordan Love in the captain for sure. I'm definitely liking playing Jordan Love on my teams. The running backs, I always thought about the Packers are bad against the run. They just are. I lean Ty Chandler, and I lean him over Aaron Jones. I think just ownership wise, if I can get more of him, I think Aaron Jones, you could make an argument for him being more of I could see, let's say you run 20 teams. I could see yourself having 10 to 20 Aaron Jones in the flex and then having 10 to 15 in the captain, right? I just could see that not being a bad route to go just because of what his ceiling is. That's something that sometimes happens that I notice is there might be a guy that I only have 5 or 10% of. in the flex, and I'll be like, well, he does have a really high ceiling, and if the boom game happens, I kind of want to be a part of that. So I think that's how I'm going to handle someone like Aaron Jones, but I definitely like the spot for Ty Chandler, and I'm big on the quarterback captain builds tonight. I think they make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And Big T, when I was looking at your flow chart earlier today, specifically about the running backs, we get Ty Chandler in a quote unquote the nuts spot here on Sunday Night Football, and we get Aaron Jones in a tougher spot here. Are you going to be leaning on more Chandler than you expected coming into tonight?
Chandler's in a good spot, but you misread the full. He was not in the nut. He's one down. He's in the active work bench.
Active work bench.
He's active. He's just not the full nut yet. Maybe for the new year he gets there for us tonight though. But I love Chandler. I mean, I think even though he busted, he was in a bad spot versus Detroit, and I just think he's good. I think they're going to throw a bunch of dump offs to him. I like him a lot, and more of the same with you guys. Aaron Jones would be the guy that I'm going to be under on. I mean, I want the quarterbacks. I definitely want Justin Jefferson, obviously. I want a lot of the receivers. It just happens to be Aaron Jones. And again, I'm playing 150, so it's not a full fade. I'm not saying that whatever. I'm not full fading, but I'm going to be way under on him. And, I mean, are we just ignoring the last time these teams played when Minnesota just dismantled Jordan Love and just owned him? I mean, if he owns the blitz, what happened that last game? He looked terrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's because he was just bad then. He's better now.
He was just bad then.
It's like the Kansas City Chiefs fans, Big T. I'm just making a quick excuse, okay? You know, it just excuses, move on. It just happened that we're gonna.
Chiefs. We didn't talk about the Chiefs, but whoo, they're bad.
Oh, so bad. I'll tell you this: that wasn't intentional grounding on Jake Browning, too.
It wouldn't have even mattered. Like
I know it wouldn't have mattered,
but the Chiefs still suck, and it was. You don't need the refs. Like, let us play a fair game with it. We're gonna lose anyways.
Every year, the refs are helping the Chiefs when it comes to important football, and here it is.
We're like 3 feet away from Mixon, and they called grounding.
Yeah, I know, right? Everything about that play just pissed me off. But we have more to talk about. We have the pass catchers to get to here, and I really, really like some of these pass catchers tonight. So if you guys are not aware, Christian Watson out for this game. Dontavian Wicks is also out. So Dontavian Wicks has really stepped up over this latter half of the season, has excelled in Christian Watson's absence, has a really good Pro Football Focus grade. And what that does, though, is it leads an opening into the third wide receiver for Green Bay. We have Malik Heath, who I expect to step up and receive a majority of the snaps. However, last week, Bo Melton did really well in his absence as well. But we also had Jaden Reed, who was out that game too. So when Dontavian Wicks got hurt in the first half last game, so we saw a healthy dose of Bo Melton and Malik Heath. It was Melton who had better stats. This week, they're both, 3,400 and 2,400. They're both great values. And I haven't even talked about the Vikings side with Hawkinson out. You saw Josh Oliver get a substantial price bump up to 5,200. However, I don't think his role is going to change. Who will change, though, is Johnny Munt, where it was said in a press conference, I believe, or just talking to reporters, that Kevin O'Connell said Munt would be the main guy on third downs and passing situations. So we have a little bit of value.
We always just listen to the coach, right? He's going to just say his whole game plan out there.
Oh, come on. You pay attention. There's a coach speak index.
I've seen Johnny Munt and Oliver for 5 years. Oliver's a pass catcher. Munt is not. Like,
Oliver's a run blocker. He's a blocker. Get out of here. Munt's
Oliver does good, and no one's going to play Oliver, but go ahead.
You have fun paying $5,200 for Oliver.
Exactly. Literally no one's going to play him. That's my point. Like, literally no one. And you're just saying literally the most chalky take I've ever heard on this show. Like, I mean, okay, Josh Oliver, 1%.
Okay, have fun playing an offensive lineman for 5K.
I mean, he's crushed like 3 different games.
Oh, no, famous last words. No.
First touchdown bet. There you go.
He's already crushed like multiple games. I don't even understand Johnny Munt's never crushed in his life. He doesn't even crush in like his own turkey bowl at home. Like he sucked.
All right.
Everyone's going to play him because, I mean, you are chalky. I never used to think you're chalky. You're so chalky.
Would Brandon Cook's captain last night prove you wrong? Come on, get out of here. Get out of here. You hated on Cook.
When CD scored 100 points, what is Cook's captain gonna get you?
Hey, a min cash. That's what it got me. Well, give me your take on these pass catchers here for both teams.
Oh, man. I mean, I think you nailed it. Like, the injury situation for Green Bay is what you kind of want to key in on. So you have Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Malik Heath, and Bo Melton left. Just because of Romeo Dobbs' price at $9K, he's probably going to be the guy that gets squeezed. And ownership reflects that for sure. So if you bump him over Reed, I think that's how you get different. I just don't think I'm going to be doing that. It's clear to me that Jaden Reed is the guy on Green Bay. Like they're running like Debo stuff, like actions for him, like end arounds and stuff. So I'm going to have a lot of Jaden Reed. And then when it comes to Malik Heath and Bo Melton, I'll have more Malik Heath just because, I've actually seen him. Feels like I've actually seen him do stuff on the football field. I see Bo Melton getting, what did he get? 38% of the snaps last week. I get it. I'm considering a max one of them two. I don't know if you guys have any takes on that, but I prefer Malik over Bo Melton. And then on the Minnesota side, obviously Kurt kind of hit on it at the beginning of the show. Hopefully this Jaren Hall guy can get it to Justin Jefferson. I have him pretty highly projected, and he's hitting a lot of my lineups, almost like a lock. So I'm going to be high on Justin Jefferson tonight. Rest in peace, because I feel like Jordan Addison kills me every showdown slate. I know Big T likes him a lot, and I assume he's going to go higher on Jordan Addison. Maybe not because he's banged up and whatnot. But yeah, just Justin Jefferson on the Minnesota side for me. And then I'll be Jane Reed on Green Bay and then sprinkling in the cheapies.
I like it. And Glock, you're an F1 guy. We got a good comment here from Christopher here. And I want to hear Mangone pronounce this guy's names because I heard Mangone try and pronounce F1 drivers' names. And this last name is an F1 driver. So, Mangone, give me your best attempt at Christopher's last name here.
Christopher Leclerc.
Leclerc.
There we go.
Hey, it was close enough. Close enough. I'll give you massive credit there. You really upped your game over the past couple months of F1.
Yeah, that's what I was doing when I was away. I was studying F1 to beat you. I want to be the F1 playbook guy in 2024. That's my goal. That's my New Year's resolution. Everyone's gonna be like, at Run Pure Sports, Mangone is the F1 guy. That's my resolution.
You can have it, Mangone. You can definitely have that playbook responsibility every Sunday. We also have a little bit of news too. Mangone was in Florida for several days, and I have to leak this out. He was texting me. He's like, no one runs worse. He sent a picture of him in the ocean on a really nice boat. He says, I got to be back in like 2 hours to make my lineups.
It wasn't 2 hours. It was 55 minutes. And we were watching Dolphins because we had to stop to watch the Dolphins, Rubio. And I had to get my core in and get my lineups done. And then the worst part about it was I didn't get everything correct. I had to run a fucking train because my CSV didn't work. And then I was so behind that I just played Gabe Davis to try and get myself back, and it worked out. But half my teams got trashed on. I think the DK teams got trashed and the Fanduel teams got there. So I ran a bunch of trains. That's what I did because I was stuck watching Dolphins on a boat.
Kurt's going to run a train too tonight.
Whoa. Oh. Hey-oh. Kurt, what's your take on the pass catchers tonight?
First off, isn't it funny how the fourth and like fifth guy in Green Bay would be the 1-2 or the 2 in Kansas City? That's so pathetic. And there's just no accountability. How Scantling isn't cut right now is honestly makes me want to fucking vomit.
The Chiefs missed a huge opportunity not getting Hunter Renfrow to just command that receiving core.
Oh god, I really would have nutted. Because Rice and Renfrow is a pretty good little combo there, and you got Kelsey, who's literally trash. But anyways,
yeah, Kurt, I was kidding. I don't want anyone to think I like Hunter Renfrow. But continue.
I think Renfrow would have been 3 times better as their number 2. Their number 2, whoever the fuck it is, I don't know, makes Hunter Renfrow look like Randy Moss, and that's not even the same playing style. That's how bad. I mean, the Kansas City Chiefs make me want to legit vomit out my asshole. I hate that team. If you're a Chiefs fan, I'm sorry. It's, oh my God, it's pathetic. Anyways, the Green Bay situation. So I think Melton has just kind of took over like Tourier. I just don't think like each game has gone on, he's gotten less and less time, but I'll probably still take a stab on him on 20 max stuff because he's just the cheapest and he can kind of let you fit stuff. But I do have much more confidence in Melton over him as far as like down below. I want at least 2 of these Green Bay pass catchers, and it's probably going to be like Reed and Heath mostly. I think Heath is like legit. I think he's looked good every time I watched him. They keep giving him more run. On the Vikings side, I'm really not really fiddling with their 2. It's really just JJ and then probably some Oliver. I'm not getting too cute over there. I just want to play roulette with the Green Bay wide receivers. I think it's really smart to do that in 20 max too and have at least 2.
Yeah, 100% there. I like it. Richie Mo said Melton was the Reed replacement. I kind of agree. I mean, we broke it down in the playbook here. I mentioned that.
Yeah, I was going to.
Yeah, when
he played
when
the slot.
Watson's been out, you had Wicks step up, and then when Wicks was out, you had Wicks step up, and obviously when Watson's out, you also had Heath step up that one game. My issue is that Bo Melton's not just exclusively a slot guy, not like Jaden Reed is either, but both these guys play on the outside, so could definitely be a case of who has the hot hand, who catches a few passes early. I mean, you kind of had a similar situation with Andreas Josebas for the Bengals against Trent Irwin, where a lot of people went with Irwin and a lot of people went with Josebas. Ended up scoring almost the exact same DK, but you kind of have a similar situation to that. I think both get plenty of snaps tonight. Big T, what say you about these cheap wide receivers? Are you seeing a lot of them hit your builds? Because I am.
I actually like Bo Melton the best, and partly because he's a beast in college. I think he's way more talented than these other guys, and he just looked good last week. I always believe, I mean, everyone that watches our shows knows I believe in the eyeball test. He looked good to me, and he's cheap, he's talented, and he just fits my builds a lot. So I'm actually the highest on him, but I'm high on all the receivers. I mean, I like Reed, Dobbs, Keith. I just happen to like Bo because he's 2,400, and I just think he's going to have just as much of a role, if not more, than last week, which he played, I think, 30%. I don't have it up anymore, but 30% of the snaps or something. I think he keeps trending upward. And I know these receivers have been banged up, but they've been banged up all year. Yeah. I just think a lot of routes lead to Bo Melton being good tonight. And then so I like all the Green Bay receivers except Torre or whoever the other. I agree with Kurt there. I'm not playing him. So just those 4 guys. And then Minnesota, obviously Justin Jefferson, Addison. I'm running my numbers right now, so I don't know. Let me see. Actually, it just finished. Yeah, I mean, I'm about 30% Addison, so I'm probably above the field there. And I don't know, Osborne, and I probably won't have much Brandon Powell just because I don't think he'll play much as long as Addison doesn't get hurt again like last week. I mean, they love playing 3 receivers, Jefferson, Addison, Osborne. So I'll probably be way under on Powell. Not that he's going to be high owned, but I might not even have any Powell. And then I like the tight ends too. So I'm big on Minnesota. I think Minnesota handles this team tonight. So I want more Minnesota than Green Bay.
I like it. I like it a lot. And we also had Redmond, a very good DFS player, but also crushes college football, in our Discord too. He's been an awesome guy just in general too. But he said Heath got overlooked at Ole Miss with all those studs. I can definitely believe that. Man, give me your take on the pass catchers and specifically tell me why Jaden Reed is the best pass catcher outside of Justin Jefferson, and then talk about these Vikings lower tier guys like KJ Osborne and stuff. We haven't really touched on the mid tier too much.
Yeah, I agree with what Glock said about the like the way that they're using Jaden Reed. He's just so involved, right? They're just trying to find ways to get him in open space, and that's just what this team, that's what these coaches like to do that are from the Kyle Shanahan tree. So I really do like him. I think Jaden Reed is one of the best options. Big T, let me ask you a quick question because I was struggling in Saber, and if anyone else has this answer too, you can happily answer as well. But I was struggling to get Jaden Reed for some reason a lot. I don't know why.
I got him a good projection, so let me see what I get.
I had him at a good projection. I wasn't getting him as much, and I was getting frustrated. And I kind of
in captain. Are you trying to get him or util? Because
flex, I wasn't getting him that much. It was very confusing.
Yeah, I mean, I got 37% flex and 12%. I got 50% total. So
I know why. I think I know why.
What?
I have a ton of them.
Slate, man, going because earlier. I don't know when the last time you refreshed.
Oh, that is what it is because I had to refresh what Rubio said. It didn't have his ownership, so you got to refresh it.
Okay.
You're right. Rubio always knows the secrets to this.
No, seriously, I was looking.
He was the only one that didn't have a thing on the right, so I refreshed it. That's why it worked for me, though.
That makes sense. I was trying to fit. I started forcing it, and then I was like, I don't like what I'm doing with all this forcing, and I don't want to do this. How can I fix this situation? Yeah. So, okay, thank you.
That's a really annoying bug, by the way, too. It's happened to be a few slates where you just can't get a guy.
Yeah, it's been the.
I've had to do it a few times where I literally have to put a different human in there and just mass swap it.
Yeah, that's like your last like ditch effort. Like, okay, if this doesn't work by the time lock comes, I'm gonna do this in mass swap. Yeah.
All right, I know I derailed us a little bit, so let me go back into the breakdown. But that
Good
was
question,
something
though, 'cause
I
people
needed.
might have that happen on Saber.
I legit
Honestly,
needed
before
that.
you run it on Saber, you should always just click refresh, just so you got the update, because it doesn't change your projections or anything. Just refresh it and it updates some of that other stuff.
Yeah, so I'm with. I mean, I think like between Heath and Powell, I was kind of not Powell, Heath and Melton. I was kind of leaning with Big T on liking Melton a little bit more, even though Heath has been more involved. I just think people are like, I think people think that they know what's going to happen with them, and I think it's more of a toss up. So I think you're going to get lesser ownership with someone like Melton. That's really kind of the take on it. I think Addison, he's just really a boom bust guy. I'll probably have more captain than actual flex, just I don't love him. And then the tight ends. I do think Tyler Kraft is a really safe option having the flex. I was getting a lot of him in the captain at one point. Maybe that was because I didn't refresh and I was getting tilted, but I don't love him in the captain. I'll say that as one of the pass catchers. I think he's way better as more of a flex option.
I like it. We got also, just speaking of SaberSim, some guy I always see topping the leaderboards with the SaberSim logo. If you were part of the Best Ball Finals or whatever, the Best Ball Mania, Shady Advice, that dude has been crushing. Probably definitely isn't watching the show, but like, what a guy that he is, man. I know he uses SaberSim like you said, Mango, and like you just see that logo and all of a sudden he's winning 3 million as things stand. Let's hope it holds. That's incredible there. But yeah, a lot of stuff to touch in on.
That guy's winning the best ball. Is that what you just said?
That dude's winning the best ball for 3 million.
That's Shady Advice. That guy's unbelievable.
That's how you know someone knows ball too. I mean, if you're winning,
that guy's been unbelievable. Like, I know you guys check the Saber like history. He's always got the best teams in there. Like, he's just very good.
I've played League of Legends with this headset with Shady Advice. So there we go.
Dude, you should like encase the headset right now. Just save it.
Yeah. Somehow tap into his teams and let us know who he's playing tonight.
Shady's really, really good though.
Is he a Teemo main? Teemu?
He's not. He's definitely not. Shady's actually really good at League of Legends, so he's good at everything.
Oh, that's good stuff. All right, so let's go ahead. Kickers and defenses.
So he carried you, Mango. Sorry, go ahead.
You're good. Kickers and defenses. What are we doing here? Kurt, what are you doing?
Oh, man, I don't want to talk about the kickers and no damn defense. There's too many cheap options today. I do think you cut like a couple spots I'm coming down to, like the last spot I'm coming down to one of the Ds. But I don't know. I think Green Bay bounces back here, so I really don't want to play too. I mean, Minnesota's D has been pretty like underrated this year. They're not terrible. They're very solid. I just think Green Bay has a bounce. I think Green Bay and mostly Jordan Love has a bounce back game here. I wonder what Travis, you thinking so too? Jordan Love bounce back game?
I mean, I love this spot for Jordan Love. So yeah, it's not.
Yeah. So like, if I was going to play a D, it'd probably be the Vikings at home. But then again, you can go the narrative like a rookie quarterback making his first start. But then it's on the road and like they got JJ, so they're going to be able to move like
second start.
I mean, I would rather play Packers defense.
When Jaron Hall starts,
I know they're missing Jair, but they've been really good even without Jair. Jair has not played that much this year, so yeah, I would go Packers defense over Vikings defense, and I'm also leaning like the old 4-2 underdogs. I think a lot of people are playing 3-3s today, more than 4-2s. I think 4-2 Packers is my favorite. So
I like it. Glock, what are you doing with the defenses and kickers tonight?
Yeah, I'm not going to have much, honestly, just looking at my exposures. But, Big T did kind of like allude to it earlier, what the Vikings did to the Packers. And when I ran my Sims, I do get more Vikings onslaughts than Packers onslaughts, which I thought was interesting because like in my head, I kind of try to think like what the game script is in my head and what the lineups are going to look like before I hit optimize, just to like be like, okay, if I'm going to get like onslaughts like last night for the Cowboys or whatnot, then, I'm on the same page with the projections. But in my head, I was like, maybe I see Packers onslaughts, with Jaron Hall on the road, rookie QB, trying to go into, a Packers environment who've been playing pretty decent. But the Sims are telling me opposite. And, one thing, I write up the NFL playbooks and there's some plays that pop like that you would never expect when you run the Sims, and more oftentimes than not that they're correct, right? So I'm just taking notice into that. So I would probably pick the Vikings defense over Green Bay if I had to pick. And so, yeah, that's just based purely on the Sims that I've run.
Do you want to know what the Sims were trying to make me do today, Glock? It was trying to make me bash in Tyrod Taylor and Devontae Adams. And I said, why the fuck is it telling me to do Devontae Adams and Tyrod Taylor so much? And I bumped them down a little bit. Still got plenty of them, but bumped them down a little bit. And sure enough, Tyrod Taylor's the #1 quarterback, and Devontae Adams.
High God, baby.
Oh,
High God.
Ridiculous stuff there. Mangone, defense and kickers.
Yeah, I said Packers defense the most. If I had to pick for kickers, I'd probably lean Carlson, but Joseph and Carlson, I literally have the same exact percentage. No strong lean on that. Yeah, by the way, like now that I've like readjusted and ran everything, like now I changed my core to Jaden Reed captain because like now it actually works. Like it wasn't working. I was like so tilted. I'm so glad you helped me fix that. So man, that was
no, dude, that's happened before. Like that one slate with Geno Smith and Drew Lock when we didn't know who was starting. If you ran the Sims, it would give you 0 of Drew Lock, even though he was the starting quarterback. And so if you guys are experiencing that in Saber, that's why you always have to run your lineups before. Like never wait to the last minute. You always have to like double check things because things like this will pop off. Like Mangone when he ran, he's like, why am I not getting any Jaden Reed? And then the same for the Seahawks slate. Like, why am I not getting any Drew Lock? Even though I haven't projected the same as Geno Smith and he's cheaper. So it literally makes no sense. So you always have to double check your stuff for sure.
I didn't have that issue, Glock, because I was going out to dinner with my family in Florida. And when I go out, I do all my teams. I get in the car. We're like on the way to the restaurant. I didn't bring my computer, and I get the news that Locke might not start, right? That Geno's out there, and then I was tilting. And
I saw it in your core. I was like, this freaking guy read so fear.
It's because I was gone. I was like,
I know.
I was doing like a belated birthday dinner thing. Like I told my family I would like have everything done in time, and then I was all tilted. So it was awful.
You were just a liar there, man. Go. Big T, tell me your thoughts on defense kickers. But I do want to make this known. So obviously, if you are, if you watch this show, you do know if you're a member of Run Pure Sports, you get complete access to Big T's and JVC's player pool. And very interesting, though. I'm sure he won't really mind giving it away 10 minutes before lock. But we have JVC locking Justin Jefferson at the captain spot. You usually don't really see that. So that's a very interesting caveat. Just thought I'd share it out there. Big T, defensive kickers, and also tell me who your favorite captain of the night is.
Yeah, defenses I'm lower on. I do like the Vikings D a little bit just because they destroyed Jordan Love last time. I don't see why tonight would be that much different, especially at home with that horn going off. I won't have the Packers D. I don't like the Packers D tonight. And kickers, I like kickers. I mean, they're in there. I would say, very standard kicker numbers in the 20s for both kickers. Like not over, not under. I like them okay. If you land on a kicker as your last spot, I am more than okay with it. I'm not like forcing them in though or something. So I would say standard on kickers, under on defenses. I got only 4% Vikings D. I thought I had more than that, but only 4%. No Packers. So basically fading the Ds. I mean, it's perfect conditions inside. I think we see a good output tonight of points. And what was the other question? The captain? My favorite captains are for sure Jefferson and Hall from Minnesota and Jaden Reed from Green Bay.
All right. Perfect. Let's go ahead and give away a core for the new year. We're actually going to give away 3 cores. It's going to be mine, Kurt, and Glock's. Glock, you go first here. What's your core for tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think it feels pretty good to be in line with all the big dogs at our site. Justin Jefferson captain for me, Jaron Hall, and then Jaden Reed for DK. And then it's exact same on FanDuel, except Jaron Hall is my MVP over there.
Perfect. Kurt, what's your core for tonight?
Let me get Hall, Jaden Reed, and Jordan Love.
Perfect double quarterback. I assume that is Jaron Hall at captain too, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Ski.
All right. Jaden Reed captain with Bo Melton and Jaron Hall.
Another thing about that is like I really don't want to in my other builds, because that was my main. In my other builds, I don't really want to mess with like Addison, Osborne. In handles, I don't really want to mess with Oliver either, only in 20 max stuff. So I think captaining Hall kind of takes care of that for you. So
I agree. Yeah, very good. We can't go with the last show of the year, or it's the last show of the year, not the regular season, without a first touchdown bet. Last game, we was CD Lamb on a 92-yard touchdown.
I mean, what are you going to do when CD Lamb catches the 92-yarder? We're just out of luck.
I for sure thought that was Cooks when he threw it. I'm like, oh, that's a deep ball. That's got to be Cooks.
Of course,
Oh
you thought it was Cooks.
you would,
I
bro.
was gonna be CD Lamb. It had to be Cooks.
Had to be Cooks.
You probably actually did think it was Cooks, too, didn't you?
Well, while the ball was in the air, I'm like, please be Cooks. I was crossing my fingers, just like praying.
Rubio, every single ball that was in the air, did you think it was Cooks? When I was watching the game, when I was watching the game, like I'd look and I was like, I bet you Rubio thinks that's Cooks right now because I knew how much you were excited about it.
When Zach missed Cooks on that touchdown throw in the first quarter there, like Cooks was open too. I was so tilted.
When it happened, I said, Rubio's pissed right now. I literally said,
That's what I said. I was like, oh, he's
laughing
so
so hard. I was like,
the
so
worst part
pissed.
is when you're getting pissed and you have the Millie round table to do in like 15 minutes. So you have to like cool down and be like, just sitting there just fuming at Dak, like for fucking missing Brandon Cooks. But we have a first touchdown bet. Come on, Big T. Who are the goods tonight?
I wanted to shove Oliver up your ass so bad, but
I already did, by the way.
20-1. I'm annoyed that he's only 20-1. I was hoping he's like 40-1, and we could have just pounded. I wonder what Fanduel is. Who's got Fanduel?
It was a tax write-off. That's why I bet Josh Oliver.
There we go.
Own
That's
Rubio.
perfect.
I did it to own him, and if it doesn't work out, it's just giving some taxes back.
If there's ever been a time to fire, it's tonight. It's the last day of the year.
I literally did that today. I was like,
I don't
I don't care if
tonight,
you're winning
unless you
or
have to pay
losing.
Uncle
It's good. Either way, it's good tonight. Winners and losers.
That's right. 100%.
That's good stuff.
Can we do? I mean, Bo Melton is only 24-1 on FanDuel.
He's 35.
my God.
I just bet him on DK. He's 35-1. I had to.
If it'll let me, let's.
I mean, I like
not
Jaron
giving
Hall too. I mean, we talked about it last night, but Jaron Hall's 25-1 first touchdown. Even the anytimes plus 450. So I'm going to bet both of those. Bo Melton 35-1 on DK plus 650 anytime. We need one good guy too. We need like two scrubs and one good guy. Which good guy could score? Jaden Reed. Jaden Reed's 11-1. Let's bet Jaden Reed. Let's let him.
I love that. Those end of rounds and shit they do with him, bro.
Yeah.
If they get in the red zone, I love the odds on Jaden Reed.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 11. What is he on FanDuel? He's 11 on.
Not 9.5 on FanDuel.
There you go. Head to Draftkings Sportsbook. Get your better number there.
Yeah, I'm gonna bet all three of those for the tax write-off tonight. Jaden Reed, Jaron Hall, Big Bo Melton. I think
Fire on them all, baby.
I actually like Jaden Reed the best. 11-1 seems pretty crazy.
That's really nice.
Also, probably have to do the anytime just in case.
I always do
just
the
like
anytime. It's kind of how I do my like game bets. If I bet a first, I always bet the anytime, just because. And you can do like if you're gonna do one unit, just split it in half or something. Do it like that or whatever. But you just double dip or you got outs. Like last night didn't work out, but once CD gets it, then you just root on your guys the rest of the game. It's a fun little sweat.
All right, so I'm uploading my teams now. Kurt, do you see any questions in the chat that we can take? Well, go ahead.
When does Rubio give any takes? I haven't heard any takes. You just host now. You don't give takes.
Yeah, I learned from Holden.
You and Holden.
Yeah, Holden, I've learned from a lot. I try and replicate his style a lot. No, Jaden Reed's the best captain tonight. I think that a kicker is just fine tonight. I think I have a kicker in my main team. I think both quarterbacks is the absolute move, and I just think you can play both quarterbacks and both number one wide receivers comfortably tonight. And that's what I'm going to do. It's chalky, sure, but stars and scrubs is the way. Even Patrick Taylor I have a little bit of. I got a lot more Patrick Taylor than I initially thought I would have. But yeah, overall, like it's easy. I agreed with you guys. Jaden Reed's my favorite
captain. 2 points from a guy, you got to take it.
Exactly. When Bo Melton is staring at me in the eyes, I'm ready for it. Pause. All right.
I built a no quarterback team that actually wasn't terrible.
Really, Kurt are riding arm in arm tonight. I like that better than the two quarter. I don't like
Jordan
quarterback.
Love.
Jordan Love.
Just build it. Just build it and do Jones and Chandler. Chandler instead of Hall. Jones instead of Love.
See what else. Hall not being the winner though. He's too cheap.
I know. That's the only thing I hate about the lineup. I was like, man, but.
Like even if he gets like 14, I think he's going to be in the win.
I know that's trust me. I know it hurt me, but I submitted it.
And he runs. Yeah. If he didn't run, there'd be a way. Like he's going to run.
You really just need all the touchdown luck to go to Chandler. But
does Rubio have a normal shirt on tonight too? Like it's not like a 19 different color. I
What's
mean,
it say? What's it say on it? What's that?
Cool C's. I got it from you sent it to me from your Florida trip.
Cool C's.
You sent it
Nice.
back. Instead of an Easton Stick jersey, you sent me a Cool C shirt.
That was disrespectful. I tried to buy. I said
Redman. No, Redman. No.
But it happened so many
Fair.
times.
What was that
Oh, I
show
didn't
like
wanna jinx
last week where I said Redman brought all the good mojo, and then you come in here with that to finish the year? No.
It was like 6
Redman.
times.
Oh, I
I'll
want
take
to
it
puke
back.
right now. I want to
Redman's an
vomit.
evil person. He's an evil person.
Oh.
It's the truth. He doubled down
Took
on
all
it.
the air out of my sails.
You know what? The most
I have a lot of
iconic-
them. All right,
I
at
have a
least he
lot
has
of
a
them.
lot of them. At least he has a lot of them.
Oh.
Gosh.
My favorite thing about the CFB season this year was when the one guy said, "Watch Chip Cranum get hurt." Ha ha ha! Like 30 minutes before lock,
Oh
everyone said,
my
"Screw you!"
God.
Blah blah blah. And then Chip Cranum gets hurt. I'm like the
That was
second
the
drive.
most built-in college slate of the whole year for me.
Bro,
the
because everything
people
else was
that didn't-
fire.
The people that didn't pivot onto him ended up winning, and it was
Yeah.
so freaking tilting.
And the news was
So
so
low owned.
late.
So
Yeah,
low
it was-
owned.
And we got college games tomorrow, though.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
geez.
going to do that show too. I don't think it's even on the schedule yet, but we need to do it. What time's that slate start tomorrow?
Starts at 10, so you got to tell me what time I have to be awake because that's not easy.
5
It
a.m.
locks at noon Eastern for
It
sure.
locks at noon
It does.
Eastern.
So we're going to do it at 10. Whoever wants to watch a college show, 10 a.m. tomorrow.
I got to be up at 8.
If Rubio can get it
I
set
got to
up,
be up by 7, I think, I guess. Yeah.
10
it's going
o'clock.
to be a great slate, though. You got to play the New Year's college slate.
Oh, of course.
Oh God, it's so.
You know what you also got to do? You got to rifle all the first touchdown bets for each bowl game.
It's a new year tomorrow.
Yeah, you
Rubio.
gotta-
Not
Yeah, we
You can't
can't
start the year in the negative.
We get-
Wait,
we
hold
need
on.
to
What
be
if I bet
smart
it
on day
now?
one.
What if I bet it now?
I don't think it counts. I think it still grades tomorrow.
The entry fee is subtracted today.
If
Yeah,
I could do that,
That
I'd
is
register
true.
for
That is
everything
true.
all weekend tonight.
Yeah. if that was the case, I'd be registered for as many things as I could tonight.
You
I
have register for everything
I
tonight.
think
Yeah.
it is tonight. I think it is tonight.
No.
What?
We got any tax experts in the chat? And they can let us
I
know.
need a tax expert.
What? Yeah, it's tonight. What's the question? I don't even.
Wait,
If
Hey,
you
Mike-
register tonight, does it count towards
No,
the
it's
tax?
when it grades it.
Yeah, it counts
it's
for
graded?
January. Yeah.
Ugh.
It's like when it goes through. Like when
Yeah.
it goes through. Like okay.
Like even if this contest ended after midnight, I'm pretty sure it would get graded tomorrow.
What you're placing the bet, and you can't withdraw the bet. Like you're placing the bet.
Well,
It's deducting from your balance, technically.
who knows?
Yeah. No, because you can. No, because you
I
can
wouldn't
pull it.
overthink it.
No, because you can pull it from your balance, right? It's like the crowns, right? I don't enter and then get the crowns right away.
There we go.
Hey,
Redmond. on
Rubio's
yeah.
right.
No, if
No.
maybe a bet could be that. There's no way a DFS contest is that way. No
That's what I
chance.
was saying. DFS, no way.
Glock,
No
Glock, you,
chance.
Glock, you have one job tonight, okay? You need to hit up Draftkings support and get us the answer, okay? Hit up DK
There's no
support.
chance.
You should ask them. I can't talk to DK support. They don't like this.
All right. Well, happy New Year from each of our own. If we don't have a chop of the 200K, then we hope it's one of y'all. Everyone have a great
That's
rest of
my
your day and have a great rest of your year. And one more time for good mojo, as always.
He's on fire.